From the TCU campus in Fort Worth, it's time for Big 12 volleyball as the TCU Horned Frogs get set to play host to the Cincinnati Bearcats. Good evening, everyone. Chuck Lamondola along with Katie Carter here courtside at Schollmeyer Arena for Game 2 of this series between TCU and Cincinnati. And Katie, one of the benefits of these two-match back-to-back days is the fact that you can kind of throw everything out that happened last night and start anew.
Definitely, and TCU is looking to do that. They're looking to have the momentum tonight, eliminate those unforced errors and see if they can get in the game and really just play their game against Cincinnati, who has all the momentum going into tonight.
As we look ahead towards tonight's match, who are the spotlight players?
So we're taking a look for Cincinnati, Zeta Washington. Wow, what a machine for this Bearcat squad. She plays out of the middle. She's such an impressive athlete. They're able to set her kind of a higher ball in the middle, so she's just able to really get on top of it. And wow, score for the team. You see 19 kills, hitting 359, contributing defensively as well. She's definitely going to be a team leader again tonight. And then for TCU, Audrey Knowles, she had her season high with 18 kills last night. She also had a double-double, so she's that sixth rotation player that's contributing from all areas of the court. And, you know, I really think she's just physically explosive. She's super dialed in and just a big contributor to this squad. And if she's given the opportunity tonight and the ball, she will continue to produce.
Let's take a look at the series history between these two teams. After last night, this is the 8th meeting overall. Cincinnati leading the all-time series 5-2. The Frogs are 1-2 when hosting the Bearcats here last night, including the defeat last night as TCU lost in 5 sets by a final score of 3-2 in a match that was back and forth all night long. So we'll see what happens here tonight as Jason Williams confident in his team. He said, look, we didn't play well last night and we were still in it, so we're hoping to turn things around here tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think the Horned Frogs, they're definitely positive coming into the match tonight. They know what they need to do to play their game.
Audrey Knowles with the first serve of the match. There's a set on the outside. Walker with that swing for the Bearcats. Bumps it to Glendenning, and she tries to cut it cross court, but that one is wide, so side out TCU, and the first point of the match belongs to the Horned Frogs. Glendenning had a good night last night, especially in the first set. She had 14 kills overall, but it was the first set where she did most of her damage as Knowles serves that one long. Service error by TCU, their first of the match.
And both teams looking tonight to eliminate some of those service errors. I think both teams had quite a bit last night. And, you know, it's one thing to serve tough. It's another thing to keep that serve in the court.
An ace on that first serve by Cincinnati. Yet to that end, TCU committed 11 service errors last night, 10 for Cincinnati. So both teams having some problems with the serve. Carla Skralbach at the service line. Buckley sets Para, who goes to the off-speed shot. In the middle, Washington with the tip. Back to Melanie Para, and Melanie Para with a good swing on the outside, picks up her first kill.
And, you know, what a patient swing by Melanie Parr. You see a high ball set from Cecily Bramschreiber. She really waited and then exploded into that ball. You can see their nice, powerful attack in the angle.
Parra had 23 kills last night, but it was a quiet 23. Glendenning had that one blocked at the net. Good job that time. On the outside, Sarah Sylvester along with Jalen Gibson on the block for the Horned Frogs. Cess Bramschreiber with the serve, and that one comes up short. And the Bearcats will once again have the serve. Abby Walker, the junior out of Cambridge, Ohio, with the serve. And that one just inside the red line. So second ace for the Bearcats.
They're definitely coming out swinging this set. They know they need to get the Horned Frogs out of system, out of their offense.
Melanie Parra once again, and you can see a little bit more bounce in her step here tonight on those first 2 swings from her.
And, you know, it's definitely easier for the hitter when they pass the ball and then they're able to get some movement going into their approach. So that's exactly what she did. She passed the ball, was able to get outside and have a nice fluid approach.
She has 302 kills already this year. In the middle, that is Zeta Washington, who had a great night last night. Well, you talk about somebody who really kind of dominated from start to finish.
And, you know, it was
Washington.
And I was going to say, Chuck, just such an impressive player. I mean, you can see here the setter even pulled off the net. They can still get her the ball. They just set a little bit higher to her, and she just does a great job of waiting and staying behind the ball.
Glendenning with the serve. Jalen Gibson with the point for the Horned Frogs. Back row attack for Jalen Gibson.
And that, I was going to say, that back row attack, Chuck, it's on fire for TCU. It has been all season. And I think Jalen Gibson is the key to that. So Melanie Parra hitting out of the pipe right now. Jalen Gibson out of that area 1 or D ball. So we'll be looking for that a little bit more as we go along here.
Tough ball to handle off the serve by Melanie Parra, but Alcantara able to get that one through the block of TCU. The block was set up nicely, but just couldn't push high and over the net.
And Alcantara, you know, she's a big hitter. This set's it's wide, so she doesn't have much of an option there, you know, and those usually end with a point.
There's the block of the swing by Audrey Knowles. And a good job on the outside here by Cincinnati.
You know, and Caitlin Leffler, all she had to do was just pretty much jump. She was already set up there, and she really had a great hand position. Her right hand getting around Audrey Knowles' swing.
Service error that time by Zeta Washington. You highlighted her at the start of the broadcast, just a freshman, but boy, last night she didn't play like one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, what's impressive about Zeta Washington is she sees if she's got 2 blockers, even 3 blockers sometimes, and she's got, you know, short tips, deep tips. You know, she takes big swings as well. So she really knows what to do in different situations.
Parra out of the back row. And when she's got an opportunity to come down the pipe like that, she's almost unstoppable.
And, you know, that's definitely something that the TCU's offense has been based around is the Melanie Parra pipe attack. And you can see, you know, it's very successful. It's a difficult ball for blockers to kind of get closed on and time it right.
Jason Williams says there's a point for the Horned Frogs. Talking to him before the match, I said, did you get any sleep last night? He said, I woke up at 3 thinking about that 14-14 play in the 5th set where we had Melanie coming right down the pipe. And Sarah Sylvester got in her way and they got tangled up. He said, I really think we would have won the match had that not happened.
And, you know, I think it was just talking about last night, just the feeling, you know, the team as a whole, something was not, there was a puzzle piece kind of missing. So I think tonight already looks way better, that little more team chemistry on the Horned Frogs side.
Kept alive, that ball is dumped by Knowles in the middle, and a good job by TCU. They are on a 5-0 scoring run here with Riley Weigelt at the service line and a timeout taken by Cincinnati. We'll take a timeout with the teams. TCU on a 5-0 run, lead it 10-7 here in the first set.
Frog fans, the 2023 volleyball season is here, and we're fired up to start this season off with a bang. You won't want to miss out as your Horned Frogs host big matches against Hawaii, Florida State, Kansas, BYU, Texas, and so many more. Come join the TCU volleyball team as they continue to blaze their own trail to greatness at Schollmeyer Arena. Purchase season or single game tickets today by visiting gofrogs.com.
Frog fans, with the thrilling action on the pitch, An electric atmosphere and blockbuster opponents, TCU Soccer's the place to be. Tickets start as low as $5 and can be purchased at gofrogs.com. Pick up yours now and experience the thrill of TCU soccer firsthand. Go Frogs!
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
10-7 TCU here at Schollmeyer Arena in Fort Worth. We're in the first set. Riley Weigelt has been at the service line here during this 5-0 scoring run for the Horned Frogs, and she's done a very good job. And there's the overpass. Audrey Knowles again with the kill. And Weigelt's really causing some problems on the receiving end of these serves.
Right, you know, and that's pretty much been the reason for this scoring run here by TCU, is just aggressive serving, luring some overpasses, and getting the Bearcats out of system.
That one is a side out. That time, Legia Williams was trying to go down the line, but ended up wide, and that will break the 7-0 scoring run for the Horned Frogs as Weigelt will rotate out after a great job at the service line for TCU. Loeffler will serve here for the Bearcats. Knowles had some problems with it. They set her and she just pushes it over. Nice dig by Bramschreiber. Melanie Parra out of the back row attack. That one hits the scoreboard. Kept alive, though, by the Bearcats. Again, it's Parra, and this one's tooled off the block. Just almost no way to stop that when Melanie Parra got that kind of a run at it.
That's right, and you know that the difference between the block touching it there and the ball going off the block and out or going straight down is the swing from Melanie Parra, just attacking so high rather than straight down, where you'll see that when the blockers block it straight down, that's the reason.
On the outside, that's Abby Walker with the kill. TCU had the block set up, but could not close it. Back to serve. Kayla Hostetler, the freshman out of Hebron, Kentucky. She started both matches here tonight. Started her first match against South Carolina earlier in the year. Bumped over by the Bearcats on the third ball. That one off the net, then off the defender's hand and out of bounds. So side out TCU on the swing by Bree Green.
And I think Bree Green knows she got away with something there. Not a great connection with the setter. You know, looks like it caught her a little bit low and kind of pushed wide that time.
Just clipped a piece of Walker. And Cincinnati comes right back with a big swing on the right side by Walker. Abby Walker with her second kill of the match.
And, you know, I expected a little bit more from Abby Walker last night, just because, you know, Cincinnati likes to have their middle. So Walker's an X-middle on the right side. So perfect candidate for the Bearcats offense to kind of run that quick ball on the right side, even one-leg attack as well.
Jalen Gibson able to find some room deep. Picks up her kill.
And Gibson, again, you know, she sees the opening. In my opinion, she likes to hit line. That's her natural swing. And that time it's not directly on the line, but kind of in between the line and the middle of the court where there's no defender. Very smart swing.
Bramschreiber with the serve. There's the set in the middle for Washington. TCU had the block up. Block that one again from Glendenning. They go to the other side for Walker, and TCU again able to get the block up. And that ball just inside the line, and a great job by Glendenning, realizing that TCU had 2 blockers right in front of her, and she just goes over the top of everyone.
Yeah, you know, she simply just kept her arm high and just snapped her wrist right over the block and ended up in beautifully deep swing.
Service error by Cincinnati. As Abby Walker served that one long. Jalen Gibson with the serve. Clipped the tape, kept alive by the Bearcats. They set Washington in the middle. On the dump, nobody there. Nicely read by the setter, Caitlin Leffler.
And, you know, she just saw the opportunity, and obviously the TCU defense was backed up a little bit. No one was really on that 10-foot line area where the ball landed.
Leffler sets the middle for Washington. That time, TCU had the block up perfectly. Sarah Sylvester there for the block.
And, you know, everybody was there pretty much. Two blockers for that matter on Zeta Washington. And, you know, it's such a big difference having 2 as opposed to 1 helping out block that middle blocker, especially a player like Zeta Washington.
Big swing by Para on the serve, and TCU comes up with the kill as Sylvester just kind of slapped that ball over the net.
And that's one of those balls, it's so high up in the air, so Sylvester deciding, do I take a swing or do I play it safe? So good choice by Sylvester, and it ended up in the point, so there you go.
Para again from the service line, big swing towards the opposite corner, just a little bit wide, so a service error on Melanie Para and the Horned Frogs. Julia Adams will check in for Sylvester. Adams did not have a kill last night, but she serves the ball well. Buckley tries to dump it. That one just inside the line. Good cross-court kill that time. On the swing by Alcantara.
And, you know, Alcantara, she comes in really hard with that big 4-step approach, 3.5, 4 steps it looks like, and just takes big swings, kind of that, you know, I think of the Dominican Republic, the history of her mother, and I just compare that every time when I see her taking a swing, just powerful.
Service ace that time by Zeta Washington, who has the big topspin serve that caused problems for the Horned Frogs last night. A lot of English on that hard serve. And there's a point in the middle as that off the swing by Williams, and Jason Williams pulls out the challenge card here as he wants the referee to take a look at it. They're going to check to see if that was in or out. Dan Hauser, the down referee, will go over and take a look at it.
And we'll have to see, because where we're sitting, the sideline it's right in front of us, but it's out of our view. So it definitely was a sharp angle hit. You can see she brought it across her body there. I'm not so sure, you know, the in and out call, well, it's definitely in. So let's take a look at touches at the net. See if someone touched the net.
That's the only thing I can think of that Jason Williams may be looking at. May be asking him to take a look at. Well, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say I've got nothing. So I don't see a player that has touched the net.
No.
Which is what we'd be calling, well, The referee saw a player touch the net. We didn't, but we don't matter, so.
So good use of the challenge that time by Jason Williams, as that call is overturned. So it's a point for the Horned Frogs.
It always impresses me because when you're watching a play, you know, our eyes are on the hitter and where the ball ended up, and, you know, the coaches are watching things like that. It's an art.
Big swing on the outside by Alcantara, who comes up with another kill. That is her third of the match. She leads the way for the Bearcats here tonight. Alcantara last night had 7 kills, so she's well on her way to besting that number here this evening. Leffler with the serve, comes up short. And that's a service error, the third of the match on the Bearcats.
You know, and talking about service errors, it's one thing to error long and aggressive, you know, and try to lure a player to touch it, but it's difficult, you know, serving in the net. There's no option for anyone to throw a hand out.
Knowles pushes it down the line, dug out nicely by Leffler. Walker. Good dig by Buckley. Gibson had it blocked, but it's tooled off the block out of bounds. That ball traveled a long distance. That swing came from the right side. The ball ended up going out on the left side of the TCU attack.
Yeah, you know, great job by Gibson just recognizing where the set is on the court. She was pretty far inside, so she chose just to take a high swing and lure that block touch rather than taking a big swing and most likely ending in a stuff block if she were to do that.
Let's take a look at the Big 12 standings. Beating TCU last night and Kansas State in their last match before traveling to Fort Worth. And TCU still has to play those top tier teams later on this year. So, you know, the Horned Frog coaching staff saying we've got to try and win some of these early matches to put us in position later on when the schedule gets a little bit more difficult.
And especially when they're playing at home, you know, it's having that home court advantage 2 nights back to back is pretty important. So, you know, that just talking about last night, that's probably one thing that kept Jason Williams up last night. Not only thinking about the end of that 5th set, but just, man, kind of a missed opportunity to get a win.
TCU with their loss last night here at home, the first home loss for the Horned Frogs. They're 5-1 here at home, and maybe more impressive is the fact that the Bearcats haven't lost on the road this year. They're 4-0 after last night's victory against TCU. Buckley with the serve for the Horned Frogs. Quick set to the outside. Alcantara with another big swing, and Elisa Alcantara is doing a great job here tonight. 4th kill for her.
And, you know, Alcantara, she plays a higher ball, so, you know, she likes to take a big approach and really utilize her vertical and take a nice high swing. You know, so it's really those TCU blockers that need to utilize kind of that higher set and get set up a little bit better.
Quick set in the middle for Bree Green, but that one is wide. Alyssa Alcantara out of Tampa. You mentioned, though, that her mother did play on the Dominican national team. That's her barely clearing the net by Hostetler. Bumped over on the 3rd hit. Buckley with a quick set in the middle. And I believe that was Jalen Gibson for the Horned Frogs.
And, you know, a great combination play, just bringing Jalen Gibson around to hit a 2-ball out of the middle, so that cross play, you know, it confuses the blockers and really gives her just an opportunity to take a big swing.
That one is long, off the serve by Audrey Knowles. That's the 5th service error in this match so far for the Horned Frogs, who had 11 last night. So they've been having some problems at the service line. Melanie Parra, I don't know how she scored that point. The ball was set to the outside to her left hand, her offhand, and somehow she was still able to swat that one right down the line.
Well, it's a good thing she's ambidextrous, so the speed of the ball was just a little bit faster than she expected. So you'll see players, you know, just push it over with their left, and obviously the blockers aren't looking at a left-handed swing.
Great block in the middle by Sarah Sylvester, and it is set point for the Horned Frogs here. Bramschreiber with the serve. There's a set to the outside, partially blocked by TCU off the Glendenning swing. And there's Jalen Gibson for the kill. And set number 1 goes to the Horned Frogs. Well, TCU will take the first set 25-19 behind Jalen Gibson, who has 5 kills in set number 1. We'll take a timeout, be back with the second set right after this.
We love our house.
It's on a great block, tree-lined streets.
The neighbors are observant.
BK Royal Crispy Wraps. Eat it with the meal or have it as a snack. Only $5, Whopper Junior ×2. Double the juniors, that's Cherokee.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One.
Desmond Howard, here to see my college football collection.
Impressive stuff, little man.
Geico makes it easy to insure. My car and RV too.
Wow.
Gloves from your famous catch.
How'd you get those? Great smile. Is this from when the band ran on the field?
Yep, 1982.
What is this?
Oh, no, don't touch the,
Not so fast, my friends. Not so fast, my friends.
It'll turn off eventually.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings are perfectly sweet and wonderfully spicy. Just like my Nana.
These are delicious. That's why I know you didn't make them.
We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
This is one of the millions of new and used cars you can find on AutoTrader. You can find cars like the ones on your favorite show. Oh no, I bet I can even find the cars in my feed. Sure can.
The one and only Red River Rivalry.
TCU took the first set from Cincinnati, 25-19, kind of turning the tables from last night where Cincinnati won 25-21 in that first set, as we take a look at the numbers from set number 1.
So, you know, one thing that, you know, stands out, it stood out last night as well as that hitting percentage. So you can see Cincinnati hitting 32 hitting efficiency, where TCU is hitting 444. Tremendous hitting efficiency. You know, anything above 250 is tremendous. So that's the main difference there. You know, and then obviously more kills, more blocks. Those are only going to help give us that TCU win in the first set.
For Cincinnati in that first set, they had 9 kills on total of 31 attacks. They made 8 errors, and that's why the hitting percentage not nearly as good as they were last night.
Definitely, and you know, speaking of those hitting errors, you know, some are unforced errors. So, you know, hitting in the bottom of the net, hitting out, things like that. It's one thing to get blocked when you hit, but it's another thing to, you know, have those errors that are totally your control. So that's something that coaches always talk about. You know, players will hear it over and over. Unforced errors, no unforced errors. So those are the things that obviously, you know, I'm sure Coach Alvey is talking about going into this second set. And for the Horned Frogs, you know, they're playing their game. They're strong offensively. They're a little bit more aggressive, I think, attacking. You know, just kind of going for it more almost. And then, you know, I really see a difference in their block as well. So, you know, they studied Zeta Washington last night, and now they know what to do. They're getting 2 blockers on her, maybe 2.5 blockers sometimes, and just a little bit more solid and not so many, you know, block touches falling in front of them at the net, or block touches and going out and things like that, which is what we saw last night. So, you know, Sarah Sylvester, big contributor as a blocker. She is the quarterback for blocking at the net, and it's up to her to kind of make the reads and decide where she's going to go to help block.
Cincinnati will serve first here in the second set. Kayla Hostetler with the serve. Set to the outside for Parr, nicely blocked by Walker. The joust at the net, won by TCU. Sarah Sylvester was there, got a hand on it, as did Jalen Gibson. Not sure who will be credited with the kill. It'll be an attack error on Glendenning. Quick set in the middle, and again, TCU with the block. Backside set for Gibson. On the joust, TCU able to win it. Good rally by both teams. Melanie Parr with the big swing. Dug out on the back row by Hostetler. Quick set for Bree Green. And a great swing on the outside by Glendenning, who just sneaks it inside the opposite corner. Glendenning with 2 kills now.
And you know, Glendenning, we've seen this before in the first set. She just has a really high snap. So she reaches high, she snaps her wrist. She sometimes doesn't follow all the way through, so she's able to hit it super deep.
Down the line, Jalen Gibson. Gibson with the kill, leads all scorers with 6 now.
And Gibson and Buckley just connecting beautifully tonight. You know, Buckley's doing a great job reversing this set. You know, when she's pushed over to one side, she shoots it back to Gibson, gives her a great setup for a kill.
Glendenning doing a good job of saving that one in the first row of seats. In the middle, that's Washington, who's been relatively quiet. That's just her second kill of the match. She ended up with a team-high 19 last night. And TCU so far doing a better job defending her, especially when she's at the net like she is right now. And there's a service error by Abby Walker.
And the Bearcats, I can imagine, they're trying to just spread out their offense, you know, early in the set. They don't want to go to Washington too soon, you know, but I definitely think she's a player they're going to go to if it gets tight or if they need to close out a set.
Melanie Parr will serve. Tough ball to handle. Nice job by Scarbeck to even get to that ball. It is a point for the Horned Frogs, but Scarbeck did a nice job to even dig that ball on that tough serve by Melanie Parr. Another tough ball to handle, and that's going to be a service ace. Melanie Parra did not have a service ace last night.
You know, I think last night she was more just kind of keeping it in, hitting more of a true float serve and even serving short sometimes. But we're seeing tonight, this is her serve. This is the hybrid serve with the float toss and the top spin swing, and then here she goes and she serves short again. So, you know, she's able to mix it up, definitely capable.
Washington in the middle on the 50-50 ball, able to put it back down. No kill for Zeta Washington.
And you know, just a great opportunity for Washington. Those 50-50 balls, those are cake for anyone up there.
Glendenning hits the net with the serve. Glendenning, just a sophomore, had 312 kills last year as a freshman. Talked about the night she had last night. TCU with the serve here. And again, it's Washington in the middle, and TCU unable to get the block up in time, and another kill for Washington, who now has 4.
And Washington just a beautiful little slice around that ball. You know, she had the blockers up, and that's the benefit of that higher set for her. She can really see what she's got in front of her and then decide what she wants to do with it.
That one is long. Another service error on Cincinnati. That is their 6th.
So Cincinnati creeping up with those service errors, 6 service errors, TCU 5. But the attack errors also is what stands out to me. 10 attack errors for Cincinnati so far.
Buckley sets the middle for Para, who tries to go deep, but that one ends up long. So an attack error on Melanie Para for the Horned Frogs. Bram Schreiber on the receiving end. Bump set for Gibson. Leffler plays it to the outside. And right there, Audrey Knowles with the putback on that swing by Alcantara.
Just a solid setup on the block by Audrey Knowles and Sylvester. I mean, they're just playing much cleaner tonight at the net.
Leffler with the set pushed back over by TCU. Go back to the outside and trying to go down the line that time was Alcantara, but she didn't have enough room. Side out, Horned Frogs. Audrey Knowles at the service line for TCU. After a season-high 18 kills last night. There's another block. This one's Melanie Para with the high hands over the net. A big block for the Horned Frogs. That's their 5th of the match, and a timeout taken by Cincinnati.
And just beautiful. She's already up and over the net, grabbing the ball.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with the teams. TCU on top, 10-5 here in set number 2.
Frog fans, with the thrilling action on the pitch, an electric atmosphere, and blockbuster opponents, TCU Soccer is the place to be. Tickets start as low as $5 and can be purchased at gofrogs.com. Pick up yours now and experience the thrill of TCU Soccer firsthand. Go Frogs!
Frog fans, the 2023 volleyball season is here, and we're fired up to start this season off with a bang. You won't want to miss out as your Horned Frogs host big matches against Hawaii, Florida State, Kansas, BYU, Texas, and so many more. Come join the TCU volleyball team as they continue to blaze their own trail to greatness at Schollmeyer Arena. Purchase season or single game tickets today by visiting gofrogs.com.
We started at 12. Running 11 deep and dropping dimes since 9-6. What happened when the Big 8 met the Southwest? 7 Heismans, count them, with 6 at the net, 5 on the floor, and 4 schools stronger. We put up threes, throw up deuces, and make one thing clear. We've always been greater than 12.
Audrey Knowles doing a great job at the service line here as the Horned Frogs on a 3-0 scoring run have opened up a 5-point lead here, leading 1-0. Set to the outside, Alcantara, and that was once again blocked by TCU. What a good job of blocking here tonight so far by the Horned Frogs.
And just great technique. I mean, Sarah Sylvester closes the block. She's pushing low and over, totally in the hitter's face that time.
Service ace by Audrey Knowles. Knowles with a big smile on her face. You highlighted her at the top of the broadcast. She's really, over the last few matches, starting to get in that rhythm that we saw late last season from her.
And, you know, you could just feel the pressure that Audrey Knowles is putting on this Bearcat team, not only with her attacking, her serving, blocking.
Para goes down the line, dug out nicely by the Bearcats. That one tooled off the block. Good swing by Walker on the outside that time by Cincinnati, and it breaks the 5-0 scoring run for the Horned Frogs.
And, you know, difficult ball for Walker to swing on. Really high ball set. She doesn't have a huge approach on it, but, you know, that high-risk snap, she saw the open spot. She was able to use the block.
Backside set for Gibson, blocked by Cincinnati, and Parra goes to the tip. You know, we've talked about it all year, the volleyball IQ of that young lady right there.
And, you know, this tip, it just barely clears the blocker's hands. You know, Walker's pulling her hands down as Melanie Parra gets the ball just creeping right over her body. So such a difficult ball to defend.
Bram Schreiber with the deep serve. They go to the outside. Glendening able to tool out one off the block, and a nice job on the outside by Carly Glendening. 4th kill for her.
And I think Glendening, she likes a little bit of a quicker ball, so she was able to utilize that. The TCU block wasn't quite set up.
There's a service ace by Carly Skrabak. Skrabak over 2,000 digs in her career. Or close to 2,000 digs in her career. And again, Parra goes down the line and scores. You know, for all the big swings that Melanie Parra has had this season, she goes, last 2 times, she's just gone to this little tip shot.
And, you know, that's the way, that quick set from Riley Buckley. And, you know, it's such a small window that they're aiming for to set. And sometimes if it's too wide or too fast, well, the hitter just saves it with their left hand. And that time, difficult ball to defend. Bearcats are arguing that it touched the antenna, however. So that's what they're challenging now.
Well, Dan Hauser going over to take a look at it as you get a good look at Molly Alvey. And we'll take a look at it and see if we can see anything.
And, you know, you're looking for that red and white pole on the outside of the net, that antenna to be moving.
It looks like it hits the tape. I'm not sure whether it hit the antenna.
It definitely hit the tape. Just, I mean, we're sitting right here, so I can say that confidently. It definitely hit the tape. You know, I didn't see it touch the antenna.
Well, last night we had just 2 challenges in a 5-set match. We've got 2 already as we take one more look at it here. It looks to me like it hits the tape and does not touch the antenna at all. And
I mean, it's definitely close. You know, it's a great call, a great challenge.
And then the question is, does it go out of bounds? It certainly is not out of bounds there. As you can see, the ball is a couple of feet inside that red line. Oh, Dan Hauser taking a look at it. Again, the views that the officials have are different than the ones we have. They have cameras looking down the net and from straight up top. So we'll get the word here from Dan Hauser in just a second. And that call will stand. So Cincinnati loses their challenge here. One of their challenges. Still have another one in their pocket. Jalen Gibson will serve for the Horned Frogs. Gibson serves it deep. Leffler sets Washington, who has to push it over. The set was a little too close to the net. Parra goes back to the tip, and it lands just out. So again, Melanie Parra going to that little tip shot. This time it was a little bit off the mark.
And, you know, I think it just was too fast, too soon for her. So she needed a little bit of a stiffer hand on that one.
Green in the middle for the Horned Frogs. Bree Green coming up with her 2nd kill for TCU tonight. She missed the entire weekend series against Tech last week. Horned Frog coaching staff happy to see her back in the lineup. Big serve by Melanie Parra. Glendenning. That one deflected right over and on the setter dump in the middle. Good job by Caitlin Leffler. Saw the opening, took advantage of it.
And you know, that's one of the benefits of having a 6-foot setter. She's up high when she's got her hands up like she's gonna set. She's well above the net, so she really hides it well.
Glendenning with the serve, and it's a service ace. So she just enough topspin on that one to get it to fall in front of Cess Bramschreiber. That's the 5th ace for the Bearcats here tonight. Parr goes to the tip and will score as Leffler could not dig it out. And again, Melanie Parr going off speed.
You know, Melanie Parr, she's playing a game of chess here, it looks like. She's finding plays that she can make. She's answering back. You know, you can see her just reaction after that tip falling. So, yeah, really difficult to do, actually, to go in like you're taking a big swing and then throw in a tip.
Set to the outside for Alcantara. Buckley sets Knowles, who pushes it down the line. Knowles with the big swing, had it blocked. TCU able to recover and dig it out. Good job by the Bearcats. Nice rally by both sides. Gibson, great dig by Leffler to keep it alive. There's Parra, blocked by Washington. Knowles, who's going to win this point? And finally, after a long rally, it's Audrey Knowles with the kill.
And how about that? The Melanie Parra back set assist to Audrey Knowles. What a dynamic duo there. Great set, great swing.
And a challenge, again, by Molly Alvey. And it's a net fault challenge here.
And I'm not sure where in that rally they're talking about the net fault, because that was a pretty long rally.
Yeah.
So might take a minute here.
I don't think it was Audrey Knowles with the swing at the end. She seemed to be too far away from the net to make contact with it. Again, you see Dan Hauser over to look at it. Molly Alvey pulled the challenge card pretty quickly. She lost a challenge a moment ago.
And yeah, you know, it was such a long rally, so that's what I'm kind of struggling with is, you know, where during that rally, and she saw it, and once the play was done, that's why she pulled it so quick, because she was sure of it. I really don't think it was, you know, the play that ended the rally where we're looking for the net. I think it was somewhere in that long rally. So yeah, difficult to kind of track it down on our end.
The only ball that looked like it might have caused a net violation to me was about in the middle of that rally when the ball was right in the middle. Washington went up with it for it, and I can't remember who it was for TCU. Also at the net, perhaps that's what it is, but we'll find out whatever the call is going to be here in just a minute as Dan Hauser continues to take a look at this on the iPad, and he's finished looking at it now, so he's going to let everyone on the scorer's table know the decision. And now we'll get it as well, and the call is going to stand, and now Molly Alvey has lost both of her challenges. So the point stands for TCU. Washington with a big swing TCU's got just enough of it to keep it alive. And there's Jalen Gibson. Gibson's having a really nice night tonight. 7 kills for Jalen. And we got to talk a little bit about Riley Buckley. She's distributed the ball really well here tonight.
So the difference here that I love with Jalen Gibson is, it's not the set that you're going to see her unleash on, but she's able to do something with it to score a point, and that's what we didn't see last night. So I'm loving that from Jalen Gibson.
Washington with the kill for the Bearcats. She's now got 5. She's the highest rated recruit ever to attend Cincinnati, as she came in with huge accolades out of high school, and number 6th ranked middle blocker in the entire country, and the number 31st player in the class of 2023 according to Dig Prep. That's some pretty impressive prep or high school career that she had.
I think she's just a tremendous athlete. I mean, even a versatile player. She's only a freshman, so, I can even see her one day being a right side attacker, or, just she has such a heavy arm.
Her father is a former professional tennis player and actually played in the Wimbledon finals back in 1996. She also has a brother who's an outstanding tennis player as well. So sports with a net. And there's a ball handling error on TCU. Well, sports with a net run deep in her family.
Sports with a net, definitely. I love it.
Entenmann with the serve for the Bearcats. Gibson just unleashing on that swing. Picks up another kill. 8 for her, tying her with Melanie Parra for the lead. And not only for the Horned Frogs, but for the match so far. Buckley with the serve on the overpass. Audrey Knowles. Perfectly timed by Knowles on that overpass. She was just able to put it right back down.
And that's kind of her go-to overpass move, just the kind of the wipe it over to her left, that aggressive double hand pushback, if you will.
That one came up short. Williams with the swing.
15 attack errors for the Bearcats right now to TCU's 4. So, that's definitely the difference in score and the difference in set wins right now.
Knowles takes a seat as Julia Adams checks into the game. Adams winning that joust, but kept alive nicely by the Bearcats. Jalen Gibson again for TCU. She's having an excellent match so far.
And the connection with Buckley and Gibson is just great. I really love how they've continued to work on it and just kind of compensate if there's not a great connection or an error, to go right back to Gibson.
The float serve and the dump. Bramschreiber with a great dig. There's the set for Gibson. This time it's dug out by Glendenning. Bramschreiber again. Julia Adams, and a nice save by Cincinnati. There's Parra out of the pipe. And the point for the Horned Frogs.
And a great deceptive set by Riley Buckley. She pretty much had her back to Parra and just threw up a pipe ball. So difficult for the Bearcat defense to read, definitely not expecting that.
Molly Alvey having a word with Dan Hauser. Timeout taken by Cincinnati.
And definitely a frustrated coach, Alvey, and this hasn't shown on camera, but I've seen her a few times, dispute the double call, saying that TCU setter is doubling the ball a little bit more than the refs are calling.
As Alvey talks to her team here, they're down by a set, trailing 23-13 here in set number 2. Here's what's going on tonight in the Big 12. Iowa State over Texas Tech, that's a final, 3-0. Baylor beating K-State on Friday, 3-1. Houston over West Virginia. Texas beating Kansas. Today, Houston beating West Virginia again, 3-0. And also today, another final up in Norman, BYU 3, Oklahoma 0. Now, Big 12 has turned out to be an outstanding volleyball conference. You took a look at those scores, and there's, with the addition of some of the teams like BYU, like Cincinnati, like Houston, and certainly Central Florida, the league has gotten much more difficult. 12 schools ranked in the top 25. TCU receiving some votes, and deservedly so. Probably should be in the top 25 as well. The league has a number of teams with RPIs in the top 60. That one is tipped at the net and unable to be controlled on the back line by Melanie Para.
And, a great aggressive swing by Legia Williams. She just, she's so explosive and springy. So I said it last night a bunch, she waits, she delays, and then she explodes. And just a powerful attack.
Sarah Sylvester with a set by Buckley in the middle. Sylvester comes up with a lot of big blocks, but doesn't score a lot of points. And after being set, she's just not someone that they go to, really. Set point on the overpass. Buckley, backside set for Gibson. And it is set number 2 to the Horned Frogs as Jalen Gibson with her 10th kill of the match ends it for TCU. The Horned Frogs winning set number 2, going away 25-14. We'll take a timeout, come back with the start of set number 3 right after this.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, like 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling. You're being too loud. Thank you. Good choice. Ooh, my lucky number.
Earn 5 times miles on flights.
Enjoy your stay.
Going up?
And 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. Plus, get access to over 1,300 airport lounges.
White wine, please.
And maybe see the one and only Taylor Swift. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
How'd you spend the off-season?
The off-season? Little Caesars tastes so good. It tastes even better with my best friends.
3 best friends eating pizza all the time, having fun. Pizza pounds for life.
The off-season? Just hit the weights.
Try the new 4-quarter calzone from Little Caesars for $8.99. It's officially delicious.
Pizza.
Target Circle Week. Here now through October 7th with Target Circle member-only deals. Save on toys you want, groceries you need, styles you love, and so much more. Don't miss out on Target Circle Week. Join now for free at Target.com to start saving.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You're fans of the grind, of kneading and flattening. Because you know saving time is never as important as cherishing it. You are fighters, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Let's just talk about
attack errors, gosh.
Welcome back inside Schollmeyer Arena as TCU has taken the first 2 sets here from Cincinnati. Chuck Lamondola along with Katie Carter here courtside as TCU's played really well tonight. A lot different TCU team than we saw last night.
Oh, definitely. They're certainly dialed in. They're playing their style of volleyball. For me, they're just aggressive across all aspects of the game. The block being the first one, and the offense, I mean, everybody attacking super strong, and then holding Cincinnati to a low hitting percentage and a really, those unforced errors. So that says a lot by the aggressive play from TCU.
Let's take a look at the highlights from that second set.
And, so again, just talking about staying aggressive, and here Cincinnati, they're playing their game. They're staying consistent. They're still giving TCU some tough moments and just kind of trying to get their offense together. Certainly Zeta Washington is doing what she's doing. And they're trying to stay in it. But, TCU, they're answering back. They're staying more aggressive. And they're keeping their play on their side of the court. So I think that's the difference now. Lots of players stepping up to the plate that we're not used to seeing. Audrey Knowles being one of those players.
Jalen Gibson leading the way with 10 kills for the Horned Frogs as we take a look at the numbers from set number 2.
So, that hitting percentage is super low for Cincinnati, hitting 65, and TCU 333. So that's tremendous as well. So, again, that offense is the main difference. And those those errors, those unforced errors from Cincinnati is what's holding them back.
TCU ended the set on a 6-1 scoring run. We'll take a timeout. Come back with the start of the third set right after this.
Frog fans, with the thrilling action on the pitch, an electric atmosphere, and blockbuster opponents, TCU Soccer is the place to be. Tickets start as low as $5 and can be purchased at gofrogs.com. Pick up yours now and experience the thrill of TCU soccer firsthand. Go Frogs!
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Jason Williams has to be a lot happier with what he's seen tonight from his team than last night, where they really struggled against the Bearcats.
Right, and I think Williams, he knows what to expect from his squad tonight. They kind of started off with a bang, and they haven't stopped all match so far. It definitely reflects in the score, but just the way of play. I mean, smiles. There's smiles tonight. There's a little bit more relaxed play, aggressive, relaxed focus. So all those good things, that combination of things that just make for good volleyball.
Audrey Knowles serves to start the third set. Tipped in the air. Buckley to Para. TCU doing a much better job defensively tonight as well. Washington had it blocked, and that one in the net, back off of Washington. And TCU really paying close attention as to where Zeta Washington is tonight. She hasn't had a whole lot of room, even though she leads the Bearcats with 5 kills. She's been, kind of marked pretty closely when she's at the net. They go back to her here, and she just tips it over. Gibson has to just kind of bat it over the net. There's the block by Sylvester. Block number 7 for the Horned Frogs.
And, the job of Sylvester, if she sees an inside set like this, it's her job to stop short, and decide, I'm not going to go all the way out to Jalen Gibson. I'm going to stop here. I see it's inside, and there you go. She gets a stuff block.
Gibson pushed it across. That one is wide on that swing by Alcantara. And she tried to cut that one cross court. TCU tonight seems to also be getting to more balls, even though they're not stuff blocking. They're tipping them enough to keep a lot of these balls alive that last night ended up as kills for Cincinnati. Good job by the Bearcats as Leffler went to ground to come up with that ball. But there is Melanie Parra. And we talked about it last set, but Buckley's doing a good job of distributing the ball around.
She is, and she's finding the right time to get the ball to Melanie Parra. We're used to seeing Parra, get most of the sets, but I think that's kind of the change with this TCU team tonight is they're utilizing everyone a little bit more, and Melanie can kind of pick and choose what she wants to do when she gets the ball.
That ball just inside the line, and a nice kill. That time by Washington. Zeta Washington. Her hitting percentage down to just 176 tonight. Tells you how good a job TCU's done against her. That one is blocked at the net. Hostetler, the freshman, came up with the block for the Bearcats.
And it's a difficult attack to make when you have a closed block like that. So Nina Horning, great job just diving in there to help out, which ended up in a block for her.
Parra had it blocked, and that one stays in the court. So back-to-back blocks for the Bearcats. Taylor Raiola will check in.
And I was going to say, I think that the connection, Melanie Parra, Riley Buckley, it's something they're continuing to work on. And, as an attacker, you want to keep swinging. You want to stay warm. And, sometimes it's just, all right, blocks up. I got to still go for it.
Gibson with a huge swing. And even though the Bearcats were there, they just could not handle it as the ball ricocheted off the defender and onto the scorer's table.
And I said it earlier, that's the difference for me tonight. Jalen Gibson, I don't know what she ate for breakfast today, but she's just hitting harder, and that's such a big difference. It really makes a world of a difference.
Raiola, the outside Gibson, and there's Gibson going down the line with another kill. She leads all scorers with 12 here tonight.
And, it's a great height of a set. She's getting kind of the low part of it, but luckily she found that opening down the line and was able to use the Bearcat block.
On the dump, punched in the air by Parra. Melanie comes up with the kill. Good job by Melanie Parra defensively just to punch it in the air, and then rewarded with a perfect set and the kill. She's got 11 on the match, and a timeout taken by Cincinnati as the Frogs are on a 3-0 scoring run. They've opened up a 7-3 lead, leading 2-0. Back right after this.
Frog fans, with the thrilling action on the pitch, an electric atmosphere, and blockbuster opponents, TCU Soccer's the place to be. Tickets start as low as $5 and can be purchased at gofrogs.com. Pick up yours now and experience the thrill of TCU soccer firsthand. Go Frogs!
Frog fans, the 2023 volleyball season is here, and we're fired up to start the season off with a bang. You won't want to miss out as your Horned Frogs host big matches against Hawaii, Florida State, Kansas, BYU, Texas, and so many more. Come join the TCU volleyball team as they continue to blaze their own trail to greatness at Schollmeyer Arena. Purchase season or single game tickets today by visiting gofrogs.com.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Some of the fans in attendance here at Schollmeyer Arena tonight, waving the TCU flag. It's been a pretty dominating performance thus far. by the Horned Frogs. Bramschreiber with the serve. There's the set in the middle and the kill that time by Williams, the redshirt sophomore to Jeffersonville, Indiana. And breaks the scoring run for TCU. Quick set to the outside, Jalen Gibson. Gibson's feeling it tonight, and a good job by Riley Buckley to just continue to feed her.
Definitely, you know, running that quick back set to Gibson, you can see she just has a great approach, perfect timing and connection there.
And it's Gibson who serves. Raiola with a nice dig on the back line. Gibson just pushes it over. And again, in the middle, it's Williams.
And the Bearcats, you know, they're looking for their middle blockers. That's, you know, going into last night's match, kind of what was to be expected. And we haven't seen it a ton tonight because I think the TCU defense has paid attention more to that. And, you know, they made sure they're not going to have a repeat of last night. But I don't doubt that they're going to try to still run their middles as much as they can to try to win this third set.
Bree Green with a big swing in the middle on a quick set by Riley Buckley.
And we haven't seen a lot from Bree Green, but when she connects, man, it's impressive. And, you know, I think she's coming back. She was out last week, and you can see that she's been staying patient all match just for a set like that.
Melanie Parr will serve. The official asking the Horned Frogs to move away. From behind, Melanie Parra, who serves it long. The service error. Jason Williams said prior to the start of the year when we were talking about Melanie Parra, he said, look, her serve is elite. And we've told her we don't care if you have a lot of service errors because you're going to come up with a lot of service aces. She's got 33 on the year, and she's got another kill here. That's her favorite play to run right down the pipe.
Yeah, you know, and when she's in rhythm, it's you can tell. And I really noticed the pipe with Melanie Parras having a great night. The pipe has been successful, so it's such a rhythm thing, and you know, it's such a fun attack as well for the attackers out there.
Weigelt serves it long. Back-to-back service errors for the Horned Frogs. Bree Green will check back in for Weigelt. Check that. Green is going to check out. It's kind of a little shuffling going around there as they rotate. As Bramschreiber checks back in. Green went to the bench. Sylvester with that last kill attempt. Glendenning with that big swing. There's Parra from the back row. And in the middle, it's Washington. And even when TCU's got the block up, sometimes Washington's just able to blast it right through there.
You know, it's such a timing thing with Washington, and that time Sylvester jumped with her, whereas I think before they're waiting and then jumping and getting more blocks on Washington tonight.
Perfect time to bring out the center dump there by Riley Buckley.
And man, she finds the right time. I mean, there's not a match that goes by where Buckley doesn't have at least 3 or 4 attempts of the setter dump. And you know, it's sets like that where she's pulled off the net, and it's the defense does not expect it.
Double hit by Leffler, who tried to return the favor. I also think on that last dump by Riley, she did a good job of seeing the red shirts kind of flash by her and realized that there was some open space. Glendenning able to bat it over. There's the set for Knowles and the big swing by Audrey Knowles. You've said it for the last couple of years when we've watched Audrey Knowles. The ball just sounds different when she's got an opportunity to swing like that.
100%. And you know, what a tremendous job with the footwork with Audrey Knowles. She sees the inside set, but she has enough time to get there.
Glendenning comes up short. tried to cut that cross court, clipped the tape, and that ball just crawled all the way across and out of bounds. Timeout taken by Molly Alvey and the Bearcats as TCU on another 4-0 run here. Jason Williams looking on, and Jalen Gibson has been the star of the game so far for the Horned Frogs.
And you know, you can just tell she's really connecting with Riley Buckley, and I can't stress that enough. She's in system, it's no brainer, she's gonna score, but it's the out of system. You know, her position as a right side attacker, you know, her job is to kind of take care of some junk balls, if you will, and she's just done a great job of that tonight, staying so aggressive.
Leads all scorers with 13 kills. Hitting .444 for the match. She's also chipped in with 3 blocks. Got 4 digs to go along with it, so just an all-around excellent night for Jalen Gibson.
And it's great that she can contribute from the back row as well. So I think that's something Jason Williams, he's mentioned before, is, okay, the cool thing about Jalen is, you know, she's not a player that we can't afford, if you will, to have in the back row. She plays great defense, and then, oh, she's available as an attacker in the back row as well. So it's so great to be able to keep her in. You know, 6 rotation right side player is pretty rare. A lot of these teams, they're doing the double sub, so they're going to rotate their right side attacker out, or they're, you know, going to rotate them out for a defensive player, you know, or something of that sort. So, you know, that's Jalen Gibson, just such an asset to the Horned Frogs squad, and, you know, so important for the success of the team.
Buckley with the float serve. Washington with the kill, and again, just the power behind that swing. You're talking about the 6 rotation players. TC's blessed with a number of them. Gibson, as you mentioned, Para and Knowles all can play all 6 positions on the court.
Definitely, and you know, Gibson, if they ever need help in serve receive, she can pull back and help pass as well. So just, you know, Jason Williams, he has so many options. And then if he looks down at his bench, wow, amazing options as well. You know, Julia Adams, you know, such a well-known player for the Horned Frogs over her career here.
Yeah, leading scorer in TCU history, and has been all Big 12. Really has seen her time limited because of the options that TCU has. And there's the block. I think it was Gibson who got it. Sylvester was there, but I believe it was Jalen Gibson who continues her impressive night.
And, you know, a lot of technique involved in that right there. So just, you know, not making a whole lot of footwork, but just low and over. You know, grabbing the ball low and over. A lot of people think they have to be up high when they block, but it's actually low and over the net and grab the ball.
Gibson dug out nicely on the back row by Glendenning. There's another block by the Horned Frogs, but kept alive. Gibson again. Glendenning with the dig. The bump set for Gibson, and Jalen Gibson's feeling it tonight. 14 kills for the sophomore out of San Antonio.
And great work by Gibson. Just a lot of transition work in this long rally. So really good job just putting herself in a great position to take a great swing, and then a really smart location as well with that deep corner.
If you're wondering about her season high in kills, you came against Coastal Carolina early this year, 20. Nice swing in the middle. Another kill by Zeta Washington. She's got 9 now, and she will serve. And we've seen how tough she can be at the service line. Big topspin ball dug out by Bram Schreiber, but that'll be a point for the Bearcats as Sylvester went under the net, which, if you're not a big volleyball follower, you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, you know, we don't want people coming under the net. There's a lot of ankles there and, you know, toes, feet.
Set to the outside. Gibson, wow. Just a nice play by Jalen Gibson. We've been singing her praises tonight. Well deserved.
Just having a career night with this smart play, you know, such a great look at that sharp angle tip. You know, there's no defender there, and a very difficult ball to run down.
Bramschreiber with the short serve. There's the set in the middle, and the point by Williams. Williams now with 4 kills.
And, you know, I was going to say, Williams, look at here. It's a lower set for her. She finds a way. I mean, she stops her arm. She contacts the ball super low, but just delivers power. And you know, she finds a way. I think she did that a lot last night as well.
Jalen Gibson again for TCU. And the Frogs continue to feed the hot hand here. Jalen Gibson at Alice has 16 kills on the night, and she'll serve. As TCU closing in on a sweep here, leading 19-12. There's the set for Williams in the middle, and Williams just pushes it straight down. And Legia Williams with 5 kills now. We'll check that 6 kills for her. And the serve by Hostetler. Parra goes to the off-speed ball. Side out on the attack error by Walker. Abby Walker, the junior, trying to cut that one cross court. Julia Adams into the match now for TCU, as Melanie Parra will serve. Came up short. And you can see the difference. You mentioned it a moment ago. Melanie Parra's got a big smile on her face, which is what we've seen from her all year long. Last night she was, you know, a little bit more dour. Didn't seem to have as much fun as she's having here tonight.
And, you know, it's a lot to be said about just kind of the attitude of the team and the energy. And I agree. I mean, last night the energy was pretty low. Tonight there's smiles. There, you know, you can see even a mistake just now by TCU, but it's kind of like a shake it off mentality tonight.
Buckley sets Adams, and Julia Adams with her first kill.
And Adams has been such a heavy arm for the Horned Frogs. And, you know, historically, she's been that. And, you know, Coach Williams has talked a lot about, gosh, like, it's so great to have a player like Adams as an option. And, you know, knowing that we can go to her not only on the outside, but if we need her in the middle as well. So it's such an important role that Adams has right now on the team, whether she believes it or not. You know, obviously it's difficult to not be a starter like she's used to.
Get a look at Abby Walker, who's got a cut on her hand there, or maybe a contact loose. And I believe it's a contact that she's going to try and replace here. But, you know, going back to Julia Adams for a minute, she's seen her role on this team change from being the go-to player offensively throughout her career. She came back for another season, her 5th year. And she's, you know, been a model citizen. She's out on the bench cheering for her teammates. And she's not pouted because her playing time is diminished. When she's called upon, she comes in and does whatever she can to help her team win.
Well, and, you know, that just shows experience right there. And that's like what a true veteran should be able to do, is just, hey, how do you need me? How can I contribute? Well, I'm there, and I'm doing it with flying colors.
There's the block in the middle, and it's Adams who got it.
And how about that? A big swing and a beautiful block, helping out with that triple block there by Julia Adams.
And a big smile on her face. There's the tip. Dug out by Adams. There's Parra. Adams goes to the off-speed shot. Tipped it over the net. Has to be bumped over by Cincinnati on the 3rd hit. And there's Sylvester in the middle. Sarah Sylvester with the kill, her third.
And you know what lures that ability to score is every TCU player available calling for the ball. The Bearcat defense, you know, doesn't know who is going to get the ball, who's going to be ready to attack.
Julia Adams on the overpass. Great to see her having a good night. Set and match point for the Horned Frogs. Weigelt with the serve. Dug out by Para. Adams goes to the tip. Gibson with the dig. Adams dug out nicely by Cincinnati. Long rally here, and that will do it as the set was wide, and Glendenning could not get it onto the floor. It hit the antenna, and it's game, set, match, Horned Frogs.
And what an outstanding offensive performance by the Horned Frog. Just a collective team effort. Total opposite team than we saw last night. And then for the Bearcats, struggling across the board offensively, 24 attack errors is going to make it extremely difficult to have an opportunity to pull out a match, much less a set.
Jalen Gibson leads all scorers tonight with 16 kills, 5 digs, 4 blocks. Melanie Parra with 12 kills, 4 digs, and a couple of blocks. Julia Adams contributing here in the third set. Zeta Washington with 9 kills leads the way for Cincinnati. For Katie Carter, this is Chuck Lamondola saying so long from Fort Worth, where TCU sweeps the Bearcats tonight 3-0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
Bravo!
For buying a treadmill?
You use the Quicksilver card from Capital One. It's simple, with no annual fee and unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. That makes you the hero of every purchase.
Yeah.
And heroes don't take the stairs.
Is this a parachute?
What's in your wallet?
Only $5 Whopper Junior times 2. Double the juniors, that's your cue. One for you, one for your friends to go. JK, you ate them both, they'll never know. BK, have it your way.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You clock in for happy hours and holidays, late nights and regulars. When others go to play, you go to work. Because you don't just carry kegs, you carry the night. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Ford. You see the name driving down almost every road in America. But you'll also find it in other places. On the grip of hammers raising homes, in toy boxes, and classrooms. Because over 2,900 Ford dealerships nationwide means more people serving more communities like yours for more than 120 years. Ford, we are all in on America.
At PCA, we stand for moms, dads, grandmothers, and great Uncle Lionel, too. For 50 years, PCA has helped older Philadelphians stay connected by providing information, care, and security. We are Philadelphia Corporation for Aging, and we stand for you.
गिरानी हमारी अखिया से आंसुआ गिरे थे दिलवा रोएंगे जान
गंगा जल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहिबगंज
मुआइबो गिरान तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोइबे जान गिरान तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोइबे जान
गंगाजल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहेबगंज
के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से दू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़बै के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से दू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़ब के रानी सोनी लागे आंसुआ गिरैले देहिया काप के लगे जा के रानी हमर अखिया